Hi everyone. I'm very honored to be here tonight, part of the celebration. I'm not going to have too many Paralympic stories like Mark did for you, but I'll talk a little bit more just about kind of my involvement with Para Sport, how I got involved, and kind of where I'd like to see it go in the future. But as you kind of just heard, I grew up in Charlottetown. I played hockey. I also played soccer, and kind of just whatever what kids were playing out in the community, street hockey, baseball, whatever. We kind of just played outside and liked to have fun and be really competitive. So then I have a brother who's actually younger than me, and he started playing hockey probably when he was like 3 or 4. So I got to see how exciting that was for him and for my entire family. He's very hockey oriented. And I started getting on my parents' case to let me play hockey. I was in figure skating, and it took a couple years, but they finally let me. And I just learned not that long ago that my mother actually went to the coach beforehand and told them, "You don't really know how to get along." Which is funny because I fell in love with it as soon as I went, and I never really looked back. Hockey was where I made a lot of my friendships, and it was just what I liked to do, whether it was in our basement or out in the driveway or on the ice or whatever. That was kind of who I was. I was in my element. I felt like I was in my element when I was doing that, and I was lucky enough to get to pursue it and go to prep school down in New Hampshire in the States, and then play university hockey for 4 years at a school in Maine. I didn't really know what I wanted to do outside of hockey. I was pretty focused on hockey and just didn't really think a whole lot about things down the road. And you get to your junior, your third year in university, and people are kind of, they're starting to decide what they want to do. And it was so funny because it was a little bit of a stressful time. I was kind of struggling to figure out what I wanted to do, what I'd like, what I'd be happy doing, and what I'd be good at. And it was almost like one day this light bulb just went off in my head. It's like, oh, I want to coach hockey. Duh. I'm lucky enough to have an uncle who does it professionally. Mark, you also, over here said you're a Habs fan. In a room with a lot of new Senators fans. Gotta go there. But no, I'm actually a Habs fan too, so it's okay. But yeah, so just kind of having that support through my family and just that kind of always being my thing, it was just very natural that the next step for me was just to coach hockey. So I was doing that, and it was going very well, and I was really lucky to have a job doing that. And it's almost been 5 years now, which is amazing. But I was on my bicycle and I was hit by a drunk driver, just straight up wrong place at the wrong time. Those things happen, and I had an incredible amount of support from my friends and family, and in particular my old hockey teammates, my university teammates that would drive up from the States because I ended up doing my rehab in Ontario. So I was very fortunate for that. It took a while to kind of learn to do, as Mark talked about, learning to do things over again, and it was definitely a struggle, and it was hard, and it still is very hard at times, but when I was in rehab, having been a hockey player or whatever, a lot of people, therapists, friends, people who have been injured in the past and have gotten into sports, tried to get me involved. And to be perfectly honest, I really didn't want to have anything to do with it. I don't really know what it was for me, if it was just that I wasn't, ready to kind of accept the lifestyle or whatever the case may be. But time kind of went on and things slowly, started to progress a little bit. But it was really when I got involved with, it was first, I believe it was actually athletics, wheelchair racing, and then wheelchair rugby. Just over a year and a half ago now at this point, it really hasn't been that long. But that's when things really started moving in a positive direction for me, and I was, able to kind of gain some ground, and things were physically, just in terms of taking care of myself, got a little easier because I got a little bit stronger. And the thing for me more than anything was just feeling that sense of belonging again, and re-identifying with myself as an athlete, because deep down that's who I was. And just because I had shaped my previous, I like to call it my old life around athletics, didn't mean I couldn't do the same in my new life. So that's kind of, where I am today, but it's really just that sense of belonging and confidence that just went through playing rugby with the guys and doing a little bit of wheelchair racing, that I've been able to learn more than anything what you can do when you put your mind to it. Just because a lot of these guys are quadriplegics and have some really difficult challenges on a daily basis, doesn't mean they can't do whatever they decide to do, whether it's have a family, have an extremely successful career, go to the Paralympics, 4 or 5 times like my coach has done. It's just been really incredible what it's done for me. And when I talk about this and explain to people, I always kind of explain that there aren't that many female quadriplegics around, let alone ones that kind of are active, involved in sports. So for me, getting involved in rugby and having a couple other females around, or whatever have you, has just done more for me than anything else I could really even imagine. And it definitely has been a tough road at times, but the opportunities that I have in front of me now are, you don't necessarily want to compare, but they're probably a lot bigger and better than things that I would have got to in my old life. This is kind of the problem of what I've been realizing in the last year or so. But I'm extraordinarily lucky to be be an Islander, but also be Canadian and live in a country where I had these opportunities, because it's rare. There are several other countries in the world that have lots of opportunities too, but I got to go to wheelchair rugby and leave my second practice with taking a chair home, which I would get in on my own, and just kind of got excited about getting involved with. And you don't have those opportunities everywhere. So when I was asked to be part of this kind of celebration, I said absolutely. I would like to get more involved in para sport, PEI and just sport in general, and I think it's going in a really exciting direction. One sport that jumps out in particular is athletics, track and field, because as someone mentioned earlier, tennis is starting to be integrated, but what track and field is doing is they're integrating both the para side and the able-bodied side from the top, because it is a sport where everyone can train together, which is incredible, because it's really a metaphor for how society should be. So that's kind of my piece, how I feel about it, and I just hope that PEI, because it is a smaller province, and because we can do more with the people we have, I think I'd love to see it integrated in the schools and have opportunities for students, able-bodied students too. This isn't just students with disabilities, because lots of these things happen to able-bodied people, right? So it's getting the awareness out there, and it's all about to me, the information and making it accessible. So that's it's awesome to be in a room full of people who are here to support that mission and that initiative, and I'm excited to see where it's going to go. So yeah, thanks for listening and having me here. It's been really cool, and seeing the history here and stuff it's definitely going to help motivate me to train again. So thanks.